welcome back to the Bay Bolts channel for another episode of Quick Strike as the Tampa Bay Lightning have defeated the Chicago Blackhawks at a score of 5-2, moving on to 2-0 on the season. As always, my name is Jake Ricker alongside my good friend and co-host Michael Wax. Michael, the Lightning with another victory. How you doing today, my friend?
The Lightning with another victory, and mostly everybody looked really good. So let's talk about this game.
Yeah, I thought the Lightning overall played another great game. There was definitely some more, I think, from the negative point of sides than there was from that first game. But again, overall, very good. I thought the intensity from this game picked up on both sides.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The intensity was really a point of emphasis for both teams. You could tell with Chicago actually getting the shot lead within the first 10 minutes of the game. I believe that was up until probably the first 15 minutes of the game. And then something clicked in the Lightning locker room in that first intermission. They come out and they go three consecutive goals. And it really felt like the Lightning were about to run away with this one. Credit Chicago's resiliency. They brought it to win a 3-2 game. And then, the Lightning decided to put the gas on in the final, 10 minutes of the game, scoring two more goals. Overall, I thought the intensity was great from both teams, more so the Lightning because, again, they are the better team. So that when they decide to try, as Brian Burns said, they can get you with three goals in less than 2 minutes, which is pretty much what they did.
And we said this in our last video that, we expect these teams to get better and better as the season goes on, because if you think about it, this is almost like a preseason for a lot of these teams as they didn't really have any game action to practice. So you expect the intensity to constantly pick up throughout this season, but definitely much better job from Chicago and the Bolts as well. And by the way, Michael, I think Delia also deserves a shout out as well as Chicago's goaltender, despite giving up 5 goals. He played pretty well. He had some very nice saves. Things got a little sloppy there when he gave away the puck and for that first goal. But, a little bit of credit to him. I thought he played pretty well. But Vasi as well on our side playing fantastic all night. I thought had a really, really good game, only giving up 2 goals on the night, but he had some top-notch saves in this game. One that comes to mind specifically is right at the end of that second period where he dove across to make a stop. Vasi, fantastic.
Yeah, I think the mindset of Vasilevsky, not only is he the best goalie in the league to a lot of people around the league, Bolts fans or not Bolts fans, he can do things that a lot of people can't do, but his mindset is, I am going to make whatever save I can to keep my team ahead. If we're ahead one goal, then we're ahead one goal. That is the mindset. I'm trying to get a win more than anything. And so, you look at those two goals that he allowed. I would say neither one of them was his fault. The first one was an utterly spectacular passing play on the Chicago power play, which is something that we didn't really see in that first game. Chicago, again, picking up that intensity, and Alex DeBrincat got a fantastic feed from Dylan Strome and, deposited by Vasilevsky before he could even get to that side of the net. And then Patrick Kane gets a pass from DeBrincat, which I've got a couple of people I hate on that play. Like, they did not do what they were supposed to on that play. More specifically, both Mitchell Stevens and Luke Schenn looked utterly defeated on that play. They weren't even trying. Stevens was trying more so, but he got destroyed on the end boards by, I believe it was Connor Murphy. I don't blame Vasi for either one of those goals, but he is that guy once again that he's going to say, okay, I'm going to allow as many goals as I have to until that final goal, in which case I'm going to lock it down.
And he was locked in tonight. I think he's been fantastic, and you just wonder how much better can he get? And every night he seems to just constantly amaze us. But let's talk about some negatives and some things we didn't like from this game. Michael, for me, it was the power play. I thought that struggled a lot tonight. We were 0 for 3 on the power play tonight. Now, again, this is only the second game of the season. I don't think it's time to hit the panic button by any means, but the power play was definitely not fantastic tonight and could definitely use some work. Maybe we see some movements going on here coming up from John Cooper to try and get that power play reignited.
Yeah, it was weird. The first power play actually looked really good. They were getting all these chances. Chicago was doing what they had to in order to keep Tampa off the scoreboard. But then they started to like get into a bit of a lull in that second and that third opportunity. It just wasn't their night on the power play. I would expect this to be a one-off. If it continues, definitely expect to see wholesale change on the power play. But they are trying new things, remember, because Nikita Kucherov is out. They're trying Anthony Cirelli on the power play. They're trying different people on different units like Andre Palat, Tyler Johnson, Mikhail Sergachev, Ryan McDonough. The list goes on and on. I'm not gonna put all my stock into one game about the power play. This isn't like the playoffs where even though you were missing Stamkos, what did they go? What 10 games without a power play goal? It seemed like it was an absurd amount of power play opportunities that they had, and they just didn't score. Again, this is one game. I think we'll be just fine.
Right, that's very important to note is that it is just one game, and why I did mention, obviously no time to hit the panic button right now, but important to know it's something that I think definitely could be improved on when looking at this game. But Michael, any other negatives from you from this one?
No, not really. Like, I didn't think that Jan Ruda played an exceptionally strong game. Once again, I'm not going to put much stock into it because, once again, it is one game. I know I keep reiterating that over and over again, but this is the second game of the season. People are still going to be rusty. If this continues, expect to see someone like a Eric Chernak, a Mikhail Sergachev, who we saw a little bit in this game, or a Cal Foot on Victor Hedman's right side. Overall, like I thought the Lightning played pretty well. The positives definitely outweigh the negatives again. They always do, or mostly do, after a win. I'm pretty happy with how the game turned out.
I absolutely agree with you. Anytime you get a win and a 5-2 win at that too, there's definitely not much to complain about. But I think another person that deserves a shout out here wasn't actually on the ice for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and that was our new play-by-play announcer, Dave Randorf, who was fantastic tonight. I thought he did a really good job coming in doing his first game. He seemed like he had some excitement when the Bolts got their goals and did a really good job overall for having to jump in this crazy type of season and doing his first game. Really at short notice. I don't know how early they told him that he was going to be the Lightning's play-by-play announcer, but it seemed like they had good chemistry in that broadcast. So great job by him tonight.
Yeah, he was awesome. Him and Brian were really, really good. He seemed extremely knowledgeable of every player, not only on the Lightning, but also on the Blackhawks. That's one of these things that we don't see. Some people just think the broadcasters get there and, you know, just do things off the top of their head. I'm pretty sure that Randorf did a ton of research. I will say that the one thing that Randorf did that made it seem a lot like what Rick Peckham used to do was that Peckham was a fan of the Lightning when he was broadcasting, but he always remained impartial unless things got extremely out of hand. Randorf, I thought, played both sides very, very well. I thought he talked a lot about the Blackhawks. He was bigging up a lot of their stars. Alex DeBrincat comes to mind. He loves Alex DeBrincat. But when the time came to talk about a Lightning goal or talk about one of the lines that was doing particularly well, he definitely shifted focus to the Lightning-centered broadcast and talked about the Lightning.
Absolutely, he was great tonight. Really looking forward to what he can do in the future for this team and as the season goes on. But Michael, anything else to add before we wrap this video up?
Just two more quick positives. The first one is the first line, Andre Palat, Brayden Point, Steven Stamkos. Probably, for my money, a top three line in the NHL right now. It was number one with Nikita Kucherov, and I'm not going to say that Stamkos is a drop off compared to Kucherov, but there is a different dynamic there. Point keeps on getting those assists, and he had scored a goal last game. Stamkos had another beautiful goal today. Palat is always there on the right opportunities, like that first goal. My second up or positive is Blake Coleman. I thought Coleman played one of his best games in a Lightning sweater. He was active on the penalty kill. He was really, really good on that third line, which was, again, fantastic. He was always noticeable. And for a forward, that can sometimes be a bad thing. But with Blake Coleman, I thought he played probably his best regular season game, definitely, but his best game overall with the Lightning since he was acquired from New Jersey. So Blake Coleman, probably my number one star. A fantastic game from him.
No question about it. You constantly heard his name on the broadcast tonight. He was fantastic. Coleman was one of those guys brought in by JBB, obviously, to help the Lightning ultimately win the Stanley Cup last year and be relied on heavily upon this year, as we expected to lose a lot more than we ended up actually losing from our main core for the Tampa Bay Lightning. But he has proved that he is, kind of showing that he can be a part of that core as well. And also to go back to your point about that first line, especially Andre Palat, man, I'll tell you what, he is someone that I think is very underrated as it comes to the NHL and just on the Tampa Bay Lightning itself. And year in and year out, he continues to prove that he is a fantastic player and really gives it all every night. Andre Palat, again, scoring the first goal tonight. So Palat in both games has scored the first goal for the Bolts. He's been fantastic. Love to see it. And he might be one of the top scorers this year by the way things are going right now.
I mean, I hope so. Andre Palat is probably my favorite Bolt right now, behind the fact that I'm the leader of the Mitchell Stevens hype train means that he's my favorite player right now. But, Palat has been there for so long. I found this really interesting, and this is the last point I'll make in this video. But the Lightning have scored 5 goals in both the games they've played thus far. In each game, 5 different people have scored those goals. So they haven't had someone score 2 or more, which I think is really, really good for the depth of the team.
Yeah, in football, they talk about all the time when a quarterback can spread the ball around. The Lightning are spreading the puck around, which is always good to see, which means even if some guys have some bad games, there's some other guys that can step up and help the Lightning. So the Lightning defeat the Blackhawks by a score of 5-2 and improved to 2-0 on this season. Guys, make sure you leave a like on this video if you did enjoy and you're enjoying this new format that we're trying out this season. Also, be sure to let us know in the comments down below who you thought had their best game tonight and what you thought of Dave's first broadcast as the Tampa Bay Lightning play-by-play announcer. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and so you don't miss out on more content like this in the near future. Got some fun things coming out for you. The Lightning's next game is actually going to be for a little while, Michael. We're not playing until 6 more days where we take on the Columbus Blue Jackets. A little bit of time off. So until then, we'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, have a wonderful rest of your day. And your Tampa Bay Lightning are your defending Stanley Cup champions.